Hey guys, Ryan here, back again with another video, this time in the Macine. So first up, I'd like to say, I hope you all had an excellent Christmas with your family and friends. I know I did, basically just, as always, see the family early in the day, have Christmas dinner, and then drink a lot of alcohol is basically what I do every Christmas. So, basically these games I played were all on Christmas evening, with Felix and Luke from Odin Clan. And basically what happened was, it was later on in the evening, everyone who was filled up with Christmas food and alcohol had gone to bed, and I was still awake, so I thought I'd see if anyone else was on, and lo and behold, these two answered. So, as we get into this game, it's quite a long one. I don't just know that if you see me doing anything that I don't normally do when I'm playing World of Tanks, I may have been a little bit drunk. So, you might see some things I don't normally do, and you might see me be a bit clueless sometimes. However, I must point out, I've got 3 games for you from yesterday evening. So I've got this one that I'll be uploading today, I've got a Tortoise video I'll be uploading later today, and then I've got a Paladin Carnarvon Action 10 video for tomorrow. But basically what I found out is that I actually play quite well when I've been drinking, so I might have to make that more of a permanent thing when I'm enjoying a good drink. So, Redshire. I've come up to this kind of like hill location, because again I've got gun depression, I'm a fast tank. This is usually where I go, pretty much without fail, every time I get this map. Try and get some spots, try and snipe across. There is one artillery, it's tier 10, which I have to be wary of, but apart from that, there's no Death Stars or anything, so I'm not too worried. Get a couple shots into the medium tank, then I start reloading, and you see me backing up to this hill to try and hopefully make myself as hard as possible for the artillery to hit if he shoots at me. So there's an ST-1, a Conqueror, and that Chinese medium over there. Now, the ST-1 is going to be a problem to pen with standard rounds, even through the lower plate at long range. I need to be wary of him. The Conqueror, if he gets hulled down, will be pretty much impossible for me to pen. And our medium tank over there has just died, so now at this point I'm thinking, because looking at my mini-map, I'm fairly alone over here, but those 2 tanks behind me, and more importantly, the enemy have 1 tier 10 artillery, and we've got 2 artillery, I think a tier 8 and a tier 9. So those 2 artillery at the back to help me, I've decided I'm actually going to stay here. I don't bother firing at the Conqueror because he's hull down, so I don't have a hope of panning him. And now I've just spotted that an E-100 has also come over to this side of the map, so I'm getting a little bit worried, not gonna lie, at this point. Fortunately, I don't get the first shot on him. I tried to hit lower plate, didn't actually look like a lower plate shot. I think I hit the driver's hatch, so really lucky that one panned. The ST-1 misses me, and now my main issue here is I'm worried that the Chinese medium tank's going to pop up in those bushes just to the right of the screen there. So I'm trying to keep my armor at the right angle where if he does pop up I can quickly angle towards him. I'm also trying to keep my eye on that E-75 behind me, one of the best tier 9 tanks in the game. So normally I'd run away from here, but you know, a bit of the liquid courage in me has decided that I'm actually going to stay here and just rely on 2 artillery. And I always say about never relying on teammates, but these 2 artillery are actually going to do really well for me. As you can see, they're ever so slowly putting damage in. The STI shows up again, and this is where you're going to notice that that thing's got really nice armor and the machine has really bad pan. I try to track him at the end there, and now I'm going to start loading hate. I can see the enemy still haven't lost a single tank yet, and we've lost 3, so this is a very slow game, and they're now winning the hill at the other side of the map, so they will end up behind me if they win that side of the map, which will be an issue for me in this position. So it seems constantly checking the map, seeing what's happening, and trying to keep an eye on that E-75. Now T-28 Proto, I know it's a tier 8 tank, but it's actually got a very nice gun and 10 degrees of gun depression, so he can actually pop over and shoot me if I give him the chance to. And now that also means that now I'm wasting heat shells at a T-28 Proto that I don't need to shoot on. I could pen through a gun mantlet with well, turret cheeked with APCR. However, I wouldn't have been able to pen that first shot with APCR on the Conqueror. So I'm just trying to dump this last shell before I reload. Unfortunately, the E100 breaks my gun. And the E100 didn't get spotted when he fires at me, which is quite impressive. But you're going to see that a lot of the heat shells I fire this game are actually not really needed, but I don't want to load APCR and then be caught out by the ST1 or the E75. So I'd rather use the gold shells on tanks that don't need it than load the APCR and be stuck having to fight someone who I can't pan. Now, this isn't really a shot you should really try to take, but I tried it anyway. I think I'm going to try and find a better position on him. Artillery's doing work on him though, which is nice. And this Conqueror comes out, I got 2 shots in him, and then I have 320 average damage. I rolled for 293, leaving the Conqueror on 1 hit point. Now I'm pretty sure you have all had that before, where you low roll leaving someone on 1 health. Like, oh, it's just not fun. Not a fun feeling at all. But there's the artillery coming to help me out, cleans up the Conqueror. Actually 2 really good artillery players. Like, they clearly knew that because they're on this side of the map, they should help this side of the map. Like, not only they're helping me, they're actually helping themselves by shooting this direction. So, well done for them for not just shooting the other side of the map where all like the heavy tanks are. So, I can't really focus on the ST1 at the moment, but thankfully the artillery's now cleaned him up too. And now you see I've got quite a few tanks in front of me and I'm a bit worried. The IS-7's now hit me from the centre. I did know they were going to win that side of the map eventually, and now that he's got shots at me, it's now that I'm going to move. So I tried to hold that position for as long as possible. I really don't need heat for this, but I got 3 shots into him. E100 gets a shot into me. Artillery to the rescue, kills the VK for me. 277 gets the DT-20 Proton. Now I'm angling for that medium that I see on the minimap behind me, because I know the E100's loading. And now I'm just going to try and stay directly face onto him and make it as difficult for him to hit my weak points. Thankfully he bounces. Artillery's trying to help me out by shooting the E100. Now I've got a full clip for him. Now, the E100 should have killed me there, because at that range he could have quite easily just shot my cupola. It was the easiest thing for him to hit and pan, and he went for my hull instead. So I don't know why I did that. And the French Tier 8 artillery just came in and killed the E100 for me. So, again, I hate playing against artillery. I don't like playing artillery, but you know, if you're going to get dicked by artillery so much anyway, it's quite nice when the artillery in your team comes to help you out. So, now this is the painful part. I try to go through the side of the turret, and I'm just trying to snipe the lower plate of an IS-7 from across the map. And I actually hit the lower plate there with hate, but, you know, Russian tank, IS-7 armor, I'm not going to be able to pan that. And now that I've wasted a whole bunch of silver on heat shells, I'm going to go back to APCR. And now, the issue is that, despite how long this game's been going, and I'm up to almost 6,000 damage and 1,300 assistance, this is still a close game. I'm a one-shot for the IS-7 on the enemy team, the E75 on the enemy team can one-shot me. The tank destroyer on the enemy team is, I believe, an autoloader, so I don't want to get hit by him either. And like I said, I can be overmatched on the side, and on a big map, I don't know where the enemies will be. And they also have a medium tank. And the thing about medium tanks is obviously they have better camo than heavy tanks, and the machine doesn't have the best view range to begin with at 390. So, oh, and the IS-7 was dead, so I made a mistake. The 60 TP can one-shot me, so I say. And they also have a T92 up, which got me terrified. So I'm like staying here at the moment near our TDs because Luke and his Death Star are still on full health, basically, and I think our other TD's on full health. And now I've decided, they've told me that they're okay here, they're going to watch the SAM up, and I want to go join the other 2 heavies, because the thing about all the heavy tanks left is that we're all pretty much one-shots for most of them. And, I have the speed to be spotting, but I don't really have the armor to be spotting. Nor the view range, because both those Russian tanks actually have more view range than me as well. So, I'm going to play extra careful, because this is actually a game I really want to win, because I feel like we've worked quite hard for it. And again, you see I'm wary of popping up over the ridge because I'm pretty much just terrified of getting spotted, because the T-92, if he just hits anywhere near me, I'm pretty much going to die. The Auto and TD's been spotted. Hiding behind a building. And right now, I'm thinking about how I want to approach this. Do I want to like rush over there? Because our heavy tanks aren't getting shot at by the medium yet. Do I want to just keep following this ridge line and try and find better shots at people? I'm not too sure, but I've decided that if I die, that dramatically changes the circumstances of this match. So I'm trying my best just to keep myself alive, even though it's so tempting for me as an aggressive player. I just want to race in there, but for the good of the team, I'm just going to play cautious. Their T-92 just struck our 277. The E-75 is spotted on full health, which is horrible news for me. Well, our whole team basically, because as I said earlier, that's one of the best tanks in the game, basically. The TD didn't quite come out, so I track him, have another look at the E-75, and now you'd think after I just shot him from over here he wouldn't come out, but yeah, you know, apparently the thought of killing that ST-1 was too much for the TD to handle, and he thought it was worth the risk. Our artillery, being the hero he is, has just killed the enemy artillery. Like, honestly, our artillery's just been amazing this game. And now I finally know where the medium tank is, so I can now position myself properly. These 75 and 1500 health, but luckily for us is that even though that's a super heavily armoured German heavy tank, Luke is in a Death Star and was able to pen the E-75 through the turret with hash. So, you know, disgusting Death Star memes right there. Like, if I was that E-75, I'd have been so upset to have been penned by that. You know, we all have to deal with getting penned by Death Stars in tanks that you shouldn't get penned by. Or penned in, should I say. I tried to get a couple shots at medium. I unfortunately missed them, but thankfully managed to pull this game back. And again, I'm putting it down to the artillery this game, because I'm not too sure if we'd have been able to hold that flank I was at had the artillery not been helping me. And what you'll see is they both didn't do the most damage, but it was very helpful damage. They like picked up kills on people, securing the kills on enemy tanks, clearing my flank. It's just super useful stuff. High caliber for almost 6,000 damage, 1,300 assistance. There's also my second mark of excellence in the Macine, another reason why I wanted to show you this, and I actually made 108,000 silver, despite all the heat I fired. And our tier 8 artillery got 4 kills and 2,000 damage, but important damage. So, just an interesting, long, but pretty intense game when I was playing it. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.